Please note that this podcast is just supposed to be a joke. Take little to nothing I say here seriously, as this was made for your entertainment and a grade. Now, enjoy. Charlie Brown. Originally created in 1950 alongside his friends, Charlie Brown made his debut in a comic series called Peanuts. These comics were usually goofy and lighthearted, targeted for younger audiences. These continued until the year 2000, but in 1965, they started making TV specials for holidays, becoming massively popular as reruns of them continued until they were bought out and moved to streaming services, and people making it a tradition to watch them on the holiday in question, to this day. They go how you would usually expect. The goofy, lovable characters find themselves in situations relevant to the holiday, with one overarching, easy-to-follow plot, and a lot of minor things on the side, with small antics here and there to make the viewer laugh. For example, the Halloween special's main arc was about Linus believing in and trying to prove the Great Pumpkin is real. But you also have a lot of screen time dedicated to trick-or-treating and the Halloween party at the house. Linus and the Great Pumpkin is something that continues developing throughout, while trick-or-treating and the party are more one-off bits, like Charlie only getting rocks or Lucy bobbing for apples only to meet an unfortunate fate with Snoopy. There's also one scene where Snoopy gets into a dog fight with the Great Red Baron, but that helps progress the Great Pumpkin plot, so I left it out of the minor category. Point being, it's fun, it's lighthearted, and it's something goofy to have on in the background, or just to watch as a family. You would think this means the other specials follow this suit with the same precedent, and for the most part, they do. However, there is one in particular that stands out. You'd think that the Thanksgiving special would be a lighthearted, get-together meal where some minor japes happen while making food or playing football. But oh no, my friends. Hidden within the funny cartoon are dark, horrifying spectacles and evil magic. That, my friends, is what we will talk about today. First, let us start with the most obvious source of villainy, the Evil Chair. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the Evil Chair is a horrifying creature that Snoopy fights towards the middle of the movie. Fortunately, Snoopy came out on top, but it was a hard-fought fight, as the chair had human levels of fighting skills and the ability to fly. There were very foreboding prospects for if the chair had ever reached the kids. Let's dumb it down a notch and focus on someone with a notch. Linus. That kid clearly knows something we do not, and is probably secretly a super genius. Otherwise, his magic forehead would not be the height of the Berlin Wall. And yes, it's a magic forehead. That bulge on his head definitely shifts around him as he turns. But that's not just him, it's his blanket too. It looks normal at first, but if you look closely at it when Linus moves it, it has this innate ability to return to the exact same position it was in prior to being moved. Take a look. Yeah, something's definitely going on there. I will admit, this is not specific to this one special, but it's definitely something to be worried about. These things are just the tip of the iceberg. This movie is full of supernatural shenanigans, and there's no better place to show it than in the cooking scene. There is a lot to unpack here. Actually, hold on. Let me pull it up, the first frame for you. There we go. All right. As you can see, there's a few problems here. Firstly, Linus and Charlie both appear to be holding up a stack of bread with only one hand each. When they, fall over at that point, it's not a solid structure. Bread is flimsical and wouldn't stay stacked so evenly like that. It's not enough to be considered evil or supernatural, but it's definitely suspicious. Secondly, why does the oven have 4 separate drawers? That's not how an oven works. And don't tell me that's just a stove with pantry drawers underneath, because I raise you. Where is the oven then? In the next room. Why would the oven not be in the kitchen? So, back to the point. Why does the oven's number compartments outnumber my brain cells? Nothing about that seems efficient in any way. While we're on the topic, the stove looks normal enough. 4 dials for the 4 burners, some wacky thingies in the back, normal enough. There's a random bowl on the side, but it's used later to hold popcorn, so that's a pass. The size of the dresser is good enough. It seems tall once you account for perspective, but since Charlie Brown is only 4 years old, it makes sense that it's... Wait, Charlie Brown is only 4 years old? He can operate a phone, balance a stack of bread, help make a Thanksgiving dinner, and speak perfect English at 4? I can barely make a coherent sentence at that age, and half of what I said was just weird squeaks and noises. That's another point for Team Magic, I guess. Anyways, returning to the counter. If we just use Charlie Brown's height and do a bit of guesswork to account for the distance back, Charlie Brown is 6'2"? Charlie Brown is literally the same size as me. I feel like they're trying to mess with me at this point. Oh, wait. Okay, we're good. It turns out there's just a basketball player named Charlie Brown. He's only 4'2", which is still 8 inches above the high end of children, but much better. Okay, now what is that door on the left? It's like 3 feet off the ground and 11 feet tall. Literally, why is it designed like that? Maybe the reason your mom is never on camera is because she's secretly a giant. She just wouldn't fit. See, what else is wrong with this scene? Okay. I think I'm out of excuses to avoid it, so. Here we go. Who owns that many toasters? Why would you need that many? And where are they all plugged in anyways? The nuclear power plant that's just off camera? My house can barely manage a toaster and a coffee machine at the same time. You're not just gonna blow a fuse, you're gonna blow up the fuse. The circuit breaker will be covered in molten metal faster than Susie playing with a football. Clearly, there's some form of sinister magic at play. Okay, now that the elephant's out of the room, we can also see that all the toasters are empty thanks to the positioning of the handles on each toaster. Charlie Brown and Linus both fill up one toaster with bread each. Now I have a problem. Linus is perfectly fine, doing things normally, and it appears Charlie is too. But when we go frame by frame, we see something is off. When Charlie Brown grabs that first piece of bread, instead of, taking that bread, the bread from the bottom of the pile disappears, as one magically appears in Charlie's hand. He literally, in one single frame, flash speed, got that bread from the bottom of the pile. I don't think I need to state every single time that there's actual magic happening, so just keep it in your mind while I'm trying to prove here. Anyways, immediately in the next shot, they're not only full, but also all cooked to perfection. It shows the toasters flinging their toast down all different directions, 8 pieces totals. So how is it that exactly 7 pieces of toast all go directly to Snoopy as he butters them all? And where'd the 8th piece go? Did it just disappear into the abyss where all your electricity is stored? And don't tell me it went off camera because that's just unprofessional. And also because in the next shot, there's only 6 pieces of toast landing on the plate. Not only that, but the whole Snoopy just stabbed through the toast, which is already impossible enough to do, is gone. Did you sacrifice the 7th piece of toast to heal the other 6? Not to mention the fact that while the other 5 were dropped on the plate, the first piece just spawns. It's straight up teleported to the plate between shots. Witchcraft and sorcery is afoot here. But it gets even worse. This time, it's reasonable for toasters to be empty, and Snoopy actually waits for toast to cook. But again, 8 pieces of toast, then 7 as Snoopy stabs them all, a piece of toast teleports, then 6, and the holes are healed. Not only that, but they managed to perfectly replicate the exact same actions as their previous attempt. That's just downright creepy. So, what I'm saying is that this scene has a literal ton of problems, with disappearing acts and... Nope, I'm done. I quit. Goodbye. What is that? Did all of those disappearing pieces of toast duplicate themselves and return from the void? I believe you had put 6 pieces of bread, and comes out, what is that? 1, 2, 31 pieces of toast? And that's at a minimum. Not only that, but they're all rotating and flying to Snoopy as if they're sentient. And what about the butter? That stick of butter is not only not shrunk at all, but has also not moved since the beginning of the scene. And look at Snoopy. Riding off the multiple hands and knives of Snoopy moving at hyperspeed, which is another problem. How much butter is on that knife? That doesn't even look like enough for one slice, and here he is buttering over 48 pieces of toast with it. And the amount of teleportation and weird stuff going on here is, well, it's madness. Subscribe. Tell you what, I'm going to let my editor point out everything wrong with this one cut, and I'm just going to walk away and contemplate how doomed humanity. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully we're done with toast. Moving on, Snoopy is making popcorn, as the frying pan just magically warps closer to him and the stool appears for his convenience. Anyways, he makes enough to where it literally pushes away the steel lid. What kind of popcorn are you making? Are you planning to host a dental visit after this Thanksgiving party? And I find it suspicious that seemingly all of the dials on the right are the same. Are you cooking the popcorn with the burner off or all of them on? Oh, I see. Yeah, the burner is off. Yeah, sure. If you just pretend the popcorn is cooking, then suddenly it will, yeah? Or are you creating so much friction that it heated up the pan enough to cook the popcorn? Maybe that's sure the right idea because Snoopy is strong. Also, wait, when did the table behind you get cleared off and so close? How did the bull warp from there to there? We all saw it. The way he jumped over there indicates this is one continuous shot. There's no time, like, shenanigans here. Did Charlie and Linus just become faster than the Flash's cameraman to rearrange literally everything for Snoopy's convenience? Oh, and furthermore, where did the 12-foot door go? Did it just get up and walk over to the void to hang out with the nuclear power plant and the infinitesimal Toast Buddies? Or did it just turn on its camouflage, fading into the background as if it wasn't even there? Anyways, moving along, Snoopy throws in some popcorn kernels that have apparently been in his left hand for this entire scene, which then not only immediately gets perfectly cooked, but also multiply themselves by thousands, stunning even Snoopy. What on earth is going on here? I'll give a pass to all the new food appearing and the pot teleporting to the left burner. Probably just a cut to pass time. However, I will not be giving a pass to the geometry of the counter deciding to change, the table moving far away, the exhaust hood also deciding to go to the void, the missing door from earlier now robbing a chunk of the wall, the position of the handle on the bottom door switching sides, the cupboards on top also having paid a visit to the void, the plant deciding to join the cupboards on their journey, and the toast tripling in size. But yeah, everything else is acceptable. We're all good here. Up next, Woodstock magically clears off a table and obtains a single toaster, deciding to be kind enough to give us a demonstration for how the toasters operate. It turns out that the handle is just for decoration, and it can perfectly cook a piece of bread in 3 seconds, and also shows us how the knife never needs to be rebuttered. Perfectly normal toasters with nothing out of the ordinary at all. I think this video is going to make me go insane. Anyways, immediately after, he cooks Snoopy's ear, as well as buttering it. But if you notice, he doesn't throw in another piece of bread, and even rebutters the knife. He knew he was cooking his ear. He's literally looking at it while he does it. Woodstock is also insane. He's evil. Maybe he's trying to stop Snoopy because he knows Snoopy's evil. What's going on here? The rest of the scene is just usual shenanigans. Snoopy throws 15 plates and 7 throws, each throw only consisting of a single plate, and then the 15 plates are on the table. Then takes a napkin out of the pile in his hand, turning the pile of 6 napkins into a pile of 6 napkins, perfectly folds it with the flick of a wrist before distributing the 10 napkins across the 14 plates he put out earlier, leaving all the plates with nicely full napkins on top. Oh, and Woodstock somehow snuck into one of the napkins. And the green chair logs in to join the party. Okay, we did it. That took so much longer than I thought, but surely it's all over. Right? Alright, it's time to address the most terrifying aspect of this whole movie. Franklin. Let's begin. Franklin makes his grand entrance into Peppermint Patty's house, where he just walked. Yeah, just uninvited, unprompted, walked in the exact moment Peppermint Patty put down the phone. Try saying that 10 times fast. Not only that, somehow Patty has told him all about the party and has called back Charlie Brown's house in an 11-second window. However, I think I'll just chalk that up to Patty's abilities, not Franklin's. However, what does concern me is his expression. That smile. That creepy, eerie smile. He's there, looking back and forth. He's plotting something. Further in the movie, we can see him entering Charlie's house with the exact same smile. How long has that man been holding it? After he enters, he walks over to Charlie Brown to give him a bit of a secret handshake before Charlie obtains his smile. Dude just infected Charlie Brown. I don't know what this means or implies, but it's evil. Immediately after doing this, he gives a bit of a sneer or a laugh before warping to the side a few feet. Furthermore, it seems Margaret and Patty have also been infected, as they all have the same smile when exiting the house. Like, what is this? What have you done to them? After which, we can see Linus and Sally with the same smile as well. On top of this, Linus has the most dubious expression I've ever seen. Seriously, what is that? Why are your eyebrows larger than your hands? Anyways, these smiles persist throughout the entire scene, up until Franklin gets duped by the evil chair, causing him to lose his focus or something, and the smile is permanently gone from everyone. Freeing them? Probably. I'm not quite sure. But it seems everyone else is somewhat aware of Franklin's powers because they ostracize him to the other side of the table. Dude is literally sitting alone, and rightfully so. After Snoopy does some more shenanigans to get the food to magically appear on the table, but Franklin starts also using his magic to shuffle the chairs around. It's not unreasonable to say that Franklin and Snoopy are having some kind of intense battle anytime the camera moves away, but I can't guarantee anything. However, there has to be some kind of explanation for the vanishing and appearing chairs, drinks, plates, even sometimes displacement of people. If I have time, I'll let the editor take care of those instances of magic. So to conclude, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is secretly a horror movie. Charlie Brown and Linus have the powers of super speed. Snoopy is a highly intelligent being with an abundance of reality-bending powers. Woodstock is secretly evil, but just playing it off. The house is magical, with sentient equipment, walls, doors, cabinets, and counters. Also a void outside of this plane existence where these sentient objects can freely move in and out of. Anyone who is on camera has their powers reduced significantly, though remnants of these powers are still visible for some and used frequently. The main villain is Franklin, with powers of teleportation and the ability to turn anyone to his hive mind, so long as he keeps his concentration. Initially, Franklin uses this power on Patty to sneak into Charlie's party without being detected, which works flawlessly. Snoopy decides to use his reality-bending powers to help Charlie set up for the party, but encounters an evil chair, which, at the end of a ferocious battle, Snoopy convinces the chair to turn to the good side. As Charlie, Linus, and Snoopy help prepare food for the party, while the house is doing its usual mischief, Woodstock attempts an attack on Snoopy. Snoopy, being infinitely more powerful, defeats Woodstock with his fabled 8-fold napkin attack, while still setting up for the party, demonstrating his power, and not really taking Woodstock seriously. At the party, Franklin successfully takes over everyone's minds, having gained massive advantage over Snoopy. But his concentration is heroically broken by the chair, freeing everyone just before Snoopy shows up. Franklin easily defeats the chair, but before he can defeat anyone else, Snoopy arrives with the food. Snoopy then looks around in a panic, realizing that Franklin is here and that the good chair was defeated. They then have a fierce battle, causing reality to warp constantly as the others are oblivious to the danger they're in. Plates are spawning and moving, chairs are disappearing. Snoopy is using his most ultimate toast manipulation we've seen yet. A few of the others get involved in the battle, as they are not present in shots they should be in. Eventually, Patty gets taken over by Franklin once again, and becomes enraged at those she considers her friends. However, they manage to break the hold Franklin has on her by talking her out of it, using the power of friendship and thanksgiving. This finally defeats Franklin once and for all. Oh boy, that was way longer than I ever thought it would be. I could go on about the mystic properties and other scenes for probably a few hours, but I think you all get the point by now. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is terrifying in a way that hides it from even the audience. You have to do a lot of digging to find the real story. And while the idea didn't catch on, I think it's a really cool concept, and they executed it extremely well. It was well hidden, but was staring us in the face the entire time. I give this an easy 5 stars, even if I went mad from researching this. Now, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Likes help promote the channel, subscriptions help me get close to 100, and comments help me throughout my day. Let me know how bad I am at researching Charlie Brown and how to improve in the comments below. And until next time, just remember that Mac will be back.